Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Friday, 23rd of June 2023. This day is celebrated as National United Nations Public Service Day. It is celebrated on 23 June every year to celebrate the value and primacy of public service to the community, highlighting the contribution of public services in the development process, recognizes the employment of civil servants, and encourages young 23 June is also observed as the death anniversary of the Balaji Bajirao, Ganga Prasad Verma, and Sanjay Gandhi. Starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, The Hindu states that at joint session of United States Congress, Prime Minister Mr. Modi calls for action against sponsors of terrorism. Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the joint meeting of the Congress at United States Vice President Kamala Harris and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy look at the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. on June 22nd. The Hindu newspaper also states that Surat adds its sparkle lab-grown diamond gifted by Prime Minister Modi to United States First Lady. A combination of a picture shows Prime Minister Narendra Modi gifting a lab-grown 7.5 carat green diamond to United States First Lady Jill Biden during a private dinner as the United States President Joe Biden looks on at the White House in Washington, D.C. on Thursday. The Hindu newspaper also states that Barack Obama says India may pull apart over minority rights. Former United States President Barack Obama speaks during a discussion at the Stavros Nearchos Foundation Cultural Center in Athens on June 22, 2023. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that face authentication now in Prime Minister Kisan mobile app, a first for government schemes. Mahindra said the ministry began pilot testing of the face authentication feature in the PM Kisan mobile app on May 21st this year. Since then, eKYC of 3 lakh farmers has been done successfully, he said. Sharing details of the new feature, Mahindra said PM Kisan scheme has become the first scheme of the government to do eKYC through facial authentication mobile app. This app is very much useful for the farmers who are aged and also their mobile number is not linked with their Aadhaar. Indian Express also states that no survivors after Titanic wreckage are found on ocean floor, and an unmanned deep sea robot deployed from Canadian ship discovered the wreckage of the submersible on Thursday morning about 1,600 feet 488 meters from the bow of the center-old wreck to half of miles 4 kilometers below the surface. United States Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mager said at the press conference. The 5 people aboard a missing submersible died in a catastrophic event, a Coast Guard official said on Thursday, bringing a grim end to the massive search for the vessel that was lost during a voyage to the Titanic. Made of the titanium and carbon fiber, Titan weighs about 21,000 pounds and is listed as a measuring 22 feet by 9.2 feet by 8.3 feet, with 96 hours of life support for 5 people. Indian Express also states that Russia disassociates itself from G20 tourism ministerial meetings outcome. At a Goa meet, G20 ministers unanimously support the 5 priority areas identified by India's G20 presidency. Besides China, Egypt as a G20 guest country did not send its representation. This time after skipping the Srinagar meet, ministers from G20 countries, around 130 delegates, participated in the Goa meeting. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Titan submersible live updates 8-hour delay to report missing sparks questions. Titanic submersible news live updates all 5 people on the vessel died after a catastrophic implosion in the ocean depths, ending a multinational search and rescue operation. File photo: the Titan submersible, operated by Ocean Gate Expeditions, to explore the wreckage of the sunken SS Titanic off the coast of Newfoundland, dives in an undated photograph. Prime Minister Mr. Modi in the United States live updates: Indian American played a significant role, says Prime Minister at a state dinner. PM Modi speaks next to the President US Joe Biden during the official state dinner. Prime Minister Mr. Modi visit live updates. Prime Minister Modi kicked off the third day of his state visit to the United States, day after leading the historic yoga session at the United Nations headquarters in New York and attending a private dinner with the President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden at the White House in Washington. Hindustan Times also states that farmers can now self-enroll for PM Kisan via new mobile app with the face recognition. Users can monitor transaction status, link their land records, which is mandatory to avail the benefits and no dates of installments through the application, according to details shared by the ministry. Farmers will be able to enroll and monitor transactions under the PM Kisan, the unit government's income transfer scheme for cultivators, through a mobile app with the face recognition technology, which will avoid paperwork and manual applications. Agricultural Minister Narendra Tomar said, launching the application on Thursday. Going towards the economy of the country, Sensex Nifty retreat from the record levels on profit taking in IT oil shares, a view of National Stock Exchange in Bombay. Fitch raises India's GDP forecast to 6.3% from 6% for current fiscal year. This is primarily because of a stronger outturn in the first quarter and near the term moment. Bank of England raises rates to 5% in a surprise move to tackle stubborn inflation. Britain's high inflation rate is also a problem for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who has pledged to halve the pace of price growth this year in an attempt to wake back voter support ahead of national election expected in 2024. Going towards the world news, including pilot crew of Titanic submersible believed to be dead. Expedition company says tech billionaire's cage match. Musk throws down the gauntlet and Zuckerberg accepts challenge. A submersible pilot suppose is descended from famous Titanic couple. Yellen says it is critical to maintain United States-China ties after Biden's dictator remarks. Bank of England hikes rates to 5% in surprise move to tackle stubborn inflation. Going towards the science and technology, India, United States plan to send Indian astronaut to International Space Station in 2024, says Biden. President Joe Biden speaks during a news conference with India's Prime Minister Mr. Modi in the East Room of the White House on June 22nd, 2023 in the Washington. Study reveals how immune system of astronauts breaks down. Evidence is growing about the many of ways that traveling in the microgravity environment of space tampers with the human body. India joins Artemis Accords will launch ISRO NASA space mission to ISS in 2024, says White House. The White House announcement came hours before the meeting between Prime Minister Mr. Modi and United States President Joe Biden in the Oval Office. Stonehenge, like 4,000-year-old sanctuary discovered in Netherlands. An illustration shows what the researchers believe is the 4,000 years old Stone Age-like sanctuary that archaeologists have discovered in Tiel, a town in the center of the Netherlands, in this handout picture obtained on June 21st, 2023. At last, there's a famous quotation said by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, whose birth anniversary is 18 July 1918 up to 5 December 2013, was a South African anti-apartheid activist and a politician who served as the first president of South Africa. From 1994 to 1999, he was the country's first black head of the state and the first elected and fully representative democratic election. His government focused on the dismantling the legacy of apartheid by fostering a racial reconciliation. Ideologically an African nationalist and socialist, he served as the president of the African National Congress (ANC) party from 1991 to 1997. Mr. Nelson Mandela says a famous quotation. He says that action without vision is only a passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming. But vision with action can change the world. Okay, thank you.